And the, Before we start the session, it's my humble request from all dear participants to please keep your mic on mute. So, opportunity does not knock the door. We have to build it. A very positive good evening to all team member of Team Research Foundation of India, our distinguished subject expert Dr. Kunal Soni sir, and all dear participants. I am Nikita Khandelwal, the program coordinator for the 10 days FDP on a step-by-step guide to write a good research paper. Behalf of the Research Foundation of India, I warmly welcome you all once again in this FDP. This education journey has been made possible through the collaborative efforts of the Research Foundation of India and RFI-CARE, and in association with Shodh and CT University, Punjab, and with the generous sponsorship of JHERF, ARGA, and Edu Academy, INC.in. As you all know, today it is marked the day one of our FDP, which could be possible only because of the Research Foundation of India. Before we start, let's have a look on RFI's journey. So, Research Foundation of India is strictly working for the social upliftment and higher education quality and Indian research promotion in the form of events like international, national conferences, seminars, workshops, symposium, and other activities. Research Foundation of India works for the integration of intellectual ideas across the globe to fulfill the thrust of innovation of humanity. Research Foundation of India is concerned with improving the educational process by encouraging scholarly inquiry related to education and practical application of research results. Research Foundation of India is working for research and development for higher education. It has signed MOU with top universities of India. RFI's members are faculty researchers, graduate students, and other distinguished professionals with rich and diverse expertise in education and research. Research Foundation of India does not take any financial sponsor from any government bodies. Research Foundation of India has organized 1,000 plus international conferences and workshops, FDPs, symposiums, etc. all over the world. Now, Research Foundation of India is having 87 plus chapters in India and 18 chapters in Asian and other countries and categorized in 5 board, West, East, South, North and Central zone. So with this, a truly knowledgeable personality, Dr. Kunal Poni sir is here with us for our today's session. But before we start the session, let's have a light on our subject expert's journey. So very positive good evening to you, sir. Dr. Krunal Soni sir is an associate professor of finance and accounting at School of Management, GSFC University, Vadodara. Sir is having a total of 11 years of experience in academics and 3 years of industrial experience. And sir's qualification, it includes BBA in Finance, MBA in Finance, Qualified Gujarat Set in Management, PhD in Management, Diploma in Foreign Exchange and Risk Management, Postgraduate Diploma in Research and Methodology, and BCom in Accounting and Taxation. Sir has total of 24 publications in various reputable journals like Scopus, ABDC, UGC Care, Web Science, etc., including a patent in Government of India under the Intellectual Property Right Act 1970, for which Sir had received the royalty grant for his innovation in finance on the topic called Techno Innovation and Growth of Indian Share Market. Sir has received 3 Best Research Paper Award in various international conferences organized by different academic institutions and sponsored by UGC and AICTE. Sir was awarded with West Faculty of Management Department at Parul Institute of Management, Parul University, Vadodara, and also had been invited 20 plus times by various business schools, UGC, HRDCs, and research institutes across India as a part of the resource person and session chair on the various topics for research, data analysis tools, and techniques, entrepreneurship skills, and ICT tools. Saras delivers the training on the different analytical software like SPSS, MOS, Smart PLS, eViews, Advanced Excel, R Program, etc. Sir has attended more than 20 plus faculty development programs arranged by the IIM Ahmedabad, IIM Vishakhapatnam, Ministry of Human Resource Development, Vadodara, Management and Association, and many more. Sir has presented more than 19 research papers at various national and international conferences across India and USA, along with 17 seminars and workshops. And the topic for today's session for writing research paper or report understanding impact factor or public facts. And for this truly knowledgeable personality, Sir is here with us. So without any further delay, we feel honored to invite the exceptional and highly esteemed Dr. Kunal Soni sir, renowned for his precision and expert in area on RFI's platform. So, sir, now the footprint is yours. Now the next is yours. Please welcome, sir.
Thank you, madam. So there is a slight modification in introduction. Now I have been invited for 130 plus times as a resource person. Yeah. Thank you for introduction. Thank you, RFI team, for inviting today. And basically the first day itself. On behalf of RFI team, welcome you all for this wonderful, research journey. Research. Things that we all are looking for as our academic growth and purpose. So it is very important to give the importance to the research, and at the same time, we need to take into consideration the various parameters of the research, which is considered to be the need of an art of the moment that we all have to take into consideration. Because when we talks about academics growth, so research is playing a pivotal role, as far as the journey is concerned. So it is very important for all the academician and even for the students as well, right? Because today is an era of AI and chat GPT. So the days are gone that we were making the classroom study with only the reference books and the definition part, right? But now today is a day that students have the access of all those mediums, and it's very important, and it is very easy for them also to make a comparison of whatsoever things that we are speaking in front of the students in the classroom teaching. So it is on our part also that we have to be very careful, and we have to be very prepared for the classroom teaching. And when I'm using this particular word that we have to become prepared for the classroom teaching, so I consider myself to be very sensitive in terms of the concept that I'm teaching and delivering based on the numerical background or numerical fundamentals. And that is nothing but the research in the area where you are serving your students, because the data, the numbers, will create a huge impact as far as the understanding part is concerned for all the people, people across the globe. So it is very, very important to give the understanding, to give the importance of those parameters, and then only we should proceed with that. And for that, we have to have good research. And along with the good research, it is also important that we should publish our research into good platforms so that the accessibility of the peoples across the globe should be on the higher note. And at the same time, we should also get the credibility, for the efforts that we have provided in particular research. And that is nothing but the quality of research paper. And where to find out those quality of research papers? So that is nothing but the important parameter in research is to have understanding the impact factors of the journals, right? So this is what the theme for the today's session. I hope I have set the platform, and you must have understand that why the first day of the topic has been selected, understanding the research impact and, the publication facet. So it is very, very important that we should begin our journey with the understanding of how to proceed with the research. What are the criteria? What lot of things that we need to take into consideration while drafting a research paper, and at the same time, where we have to present our research paper, right? So this is what the theme of the today's session. So with that note, I'm just sharing my screen. Just confirm screen sharing.
Yes, sir, it's
Right. Thank you. Yeah. So, so this is the theme for the today's session, that we need to understand how to write a research report and understanding the impact factors of the particular journal. So because that plays a very pivotal role for the understanding purpose also. So it's very important to take those parameters into consideration, right? So yeah. So how to begin the report writing, right? So this is the FDP for step-by-step guiding of research paper. So, we have purposefully capped this session to be on the first day because, many a times people are, reaching at the end level. That means the concluding part of the research paper. And after that, they feel that, oh, that was a wrong choice. That was a wrong path, right? But ultimately, I have to start my research paper in that way or research report into that particular manner, right? So what happens is they have to take a U-turn. And whenever in research, whenever you forget to consider some of the important parameters, and if at all there would be a situation that you have to take your vehicle to be on a reverse mode, so it is very difficult for all the researchers to proceed and to take into consideration. So it's very important that we should take those all the parameters very carefully and accordingly we should behave. So that is why it is very important to narrow down your topic. So when I'm saying this, narrow down the topic, so because the research is a funnel process, right? So research is a funnel process is like this, right? So you always start with this broad area and gradually you will reach to this area. And finally, when you have to reach to the conclusion level, you will reach at this area. And this area is nothing but, this is the area where your title has been decided. I hope it is clear. Fine enough. So this is a stage where your title has been decided. So research always works on this way, right? So this is a funnel process. Why it is a funnel process? So this is the way out that we always have to work on this EIC model, right? EIC model, right? What does EIC stands for, right? So whenever you are planning to write your research paper, sometimes researcher might have the problem or, might have the questions. And what should I draft my research paper? What should be the topic of my research paper, right? What parameters should I take into consideration, right? So the answer always lies into this particular model, which is called EIC model, right? Let's take an example. Can anybody tell me, from the audience, any topic where you are planning to do the research work? So let's apply the EIC model practically rather than going into theoretical part of the PPT. Anybody would like to volunteer? Please share your topic. I guide you how to reach to your, finalization of your topic.
Last mile delivery in supply chain management, innovation and resilience. If we can.
Supply chain management. Okay. So you want to go for supply chain management, right?
Yes.
So Sir, roughly you have the slide. Yes, please.
Financial literacy among salaried women.
Financial literacy among salaried women. Right. Yes. So almost you have reached something little bit deeper in comparison to the madam who is doing supply chain management, right? So let's take examples together, right? We'll take 2 examples, right? And then after in question answer round, we will take the more queries. Okay. So supply chain management and financial literacy, right? So supply chain management, right? So supply chain management, you have to think in terms of economy. So this E stands for economy. So what economy stands for, right? Your area of research has been decided that I want to do it in supply chain management, right? But the area in terms of topic, but which area you want to target, which target audience you are planning to take into consideration as far as your research is concerned, right? For both the case, whether it is supply chain management and whether it is for financial literacy, right? So that is what we have to think about it. So supply chain management, you want to do it in which area? It could be either at the national level, either at the state level, either at the district level, either at the city level, or either it could be zone level also, right? If at all, let's say if I talk about the Delhi, then Delhi has a very huge capacity, in area wise. So people can also go with northeast zone, northwest zone, east zone, south zone, right? So they can proceed for the analysis part. Nothing wrong in that, right? So this is one aspect. So supply chain management or financial literacy, where you want to conduct, right? So that is called economical friend. So if at all you are planning to finalize your topic, right? Let's take a financial literacy, right? Financial literacy you are talking about. So financial literacy in terms of what? right? Can financial literacy candidate can answer? Have you decided any particular area?
Yes, sir. I
Right,
decide Raipur division. There are 5 districts in Raipur division.
right. So basically, you are going for Raipur district, if I'm
Yes,
not
sir.
wrong.
Yes, sir.
Right. So Raipur district. So this is one aspect that is economical front, right? You want to go for Raipur district, right? Then which industry you are talking about? So financial literacy among working women. So
Salaried
even
women. Yes.
woman can be one segment, but are you looking for financial literacy among working women in all the areas, or you have planned out certain areas or certain industry where you want to check the impact of
Okay.
financial literacy?
Sir, some industries area are like educational institutes, like universities, colleges, schools, and
So
etc.
that is industry, right? So you want to do it for educational institute,
Okay, sir.
right? So this is industry. So this is stands for I. So we have started with this. This was the financial literacy. Now we have reached up to this level, right? So we have, it is a filtering process like this. Now you can see this. When I have decided financial literacy, it could be any area, it could be any industry. But now I have restricted my industry, right? I have restricted my area. Even in educational institute also, right? You have a Raipur, but you can also check, certain universities, certain area, certain zone also, right? That could be also possible. Even in education institute, you can only restrict your topic up to college level, right? Anything could be possible depending upon the gap that you are finding out, right?
Yes, sir.
So this is ultimately going with the gap, right? So this is a gradual process you will learn. Okay. And the company, right? So educational institute, you said, you want to keep it as a broad, but I told you, you can pick up any particular university, any particular colleges, right? And that's where you can finalize, right? Let's say the unveiling, right? So now my title is financial literacy among working women, right? And the sector which I have selected is educational institute and area is Raipur. So
Yes,
can
sir.
I have my title unveiling factors, right, of financial literacy with reference to educational institute in Raipur city or Raipur district? Yes or no?
Yes, sir. That
Right.
would, yes.
Unveiling factors of financial literacy among the working women, right, in educational institutes or universities with special reference to Raipur district.
Raipur district, yes.
Then your title. Still, this is not considered to be the final title. Why? Because gradually you will proceed for multiple parameters of research, based on your literature review, methodology, data analysis, findings and conclusion. So based on findings and conclusion, your title may vary. Why? Because there is a linked process, right? Why I'm saying that this is a linked process? So
Based on
let me
secondary
take you.
data.
Sorry.
It's based on secondary data.
No, it's on primary data. If at all you are checking impact of financial literacy, right? So you must have to take the opinions, right? Because no data, no particular agencies of government that will provide this kind of data,
Yes, sir.
right? So, so secondary research will not be possible. You have to go for primary research. So you have to frame questions, and based on that, you can go for quantitative analysis,
Okay, sir. सर
right?
मैं
So I hope you
गाइड
have get the idea.
सर मेरे गाइड ने टास्क दिया है क्वेश्चन आयर बनाने का बट मुझे कुछ भी समझ में नहीं आ रहा है
Acha. Right, right. So no issue. Be in touch, right? So this is how you have to frame it. You have to make it,
ओके सर
right? So this is an authentic process, right? So research is very scientific process. If you go step by step things, the things will be easy. Your journey would be easy. But if you want to make it complicated, you always ask to your mind, what should I do next? Right? So that way research will not happen. The confusion will definitely happen.
यस
Clear. So research is a step-by-step process, right? And that's where you have to cover up the scope. And why I'm saying that still your title is not final, because you have to go with first intro, right? You have to go with LR. You have to go with research methodology. You have to
Okay.
go with data analysis. You have to go with findings and conclusions, right? So,
Okay.
right. So based on the title that we have decided, right? Based on the title that we have decided, might be the data analysis, conclusion and reasons are something different. So researcher has two tasks, either they can change the data or they can change the title. You tell me which is the appropriate way.
Data. Change the data.
Change the title.
Okay, sir. But
Right.
my
So
title is finalized, sir.
no,
My
PhD level I'm
article.
not talking. PhD level it's not possible. But
is-
we'll try to fetch it. But PhD level, nobody is forcing us, right?
Yes.
Because at PhD level, we are starting our research, right? I consider PhD is a beginning journey of research.
Yes, sir.
I'm talking these parameters in terms of impact factors, that is the journal's requirements, right? Because PhD level, we can ask for the synchronization process for the research, but not on the complete aspect, right? But when it talks about the journal perspective, the synchronization starts with title, right? Based on title, what you will do? You will do LR,
Yes, sir.
right? Based on LR, what you will do? You will try to find out the gap,
Gap, objective,
right?
methodology.
Based on gap, you will do objective.
Yes.
Based on objective, what you will do? Hypothesis.
Yes, hypothesis.
Based on hypothesis, what you will do? जो आपके गाइड ने बोला है,
हाँ, नल है या वो है, क्या बोलते हैं?
questionnaire.
Yes, sir.
Based on questionnaire, what you will do? Data collection.
Data collection, yes.
Based on data collection, what you will do?
Implement
Data
करेंगे
analysis.
methodology, data analysis के बाद.
Based on data analysis, what you will do?
Methodology.
Finding and conclusion.
Okay.
Objective hypothesis, this is a part of methodology. Right. इसके अंदर सब आ गया मैडम. सैंपल साइज भी आ गया, आपका रिसर्च डिजाइन आ गया, ठीक है, सैम्पलिंग टेक्निक्स आ गई, ठीक है, स्कोप ऑफ स्टडी आ गया. दैट इज अ पार्ट ऑफ इट. बिकॉज जब आप एलआर करते हो और गैप लेते हो तो गैप के अंदर स्कोप तो आ ही जाता है,
Yes, sir.
राइट? सो दैट इज अ पार्ट ऑफ इट. क्लियर? अब जब फाइंडिंग एंड कंक्लूजन आ जाए तो क्या सही रहेगा? और फाइंडिंग एंड कंक्लूजन में मुझे टाइटल में वेरिएशन दिख रहा है, तो व्हाट इज द बेस्ट वे फॉर मी to change my data and do all this process, or should I remodify my title?
Title, sir. Of course.
So
Yes.
people generally starts with title. Those who are new to the system, right? They generally start with the title and end with finding and conclusion. But I'm doing in a opposite manner,
Okay.
right? Because tell me, if you are doing research, how can you decide your title in the beginning? Because if you are deciding your title, that means you are giving, जैसे हम लोग स्कूल में बच्चों को पढ़ाते हैं ना, कि पैराग्राफ पढ़िए और उसका योग्य शीर्षक दीजिए, राइट?
Answer
राइट, राइट. So if at all you know it, then how can you proceed with the research?
Yes, sir. पहले स्टडी करनी पड़ी, उसके बाद हम डिजाइन
Right.
करेंगे. Exactly.
Right. So Indian universities is going in a different manner, right? There should be some scope of modification of title, which I feel. And journals are always looking for, those who are from the, international journals, quality journals like Scopus, ABDC. So they will not compromise at all when you have the variation in your title and finding and conclusions. Why I'm sharing this? Because the title of the today is to have the understanding impact factors. And when we talks about the understanding of impact factor, we need to understand the requirements of the journal. And until and unless if we are failed and we are not in a position to meet those requirements, we will not be in a position to publish our papers. Clear? And if we are not publishing, how can we improve our citations? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
And that's why, so based on the findings and conclusions that we are deriving, right, you have to give the modification in your title. So this finding and conclusion leads to the modification in this title. And finally, once this title is gone, you are ready to publish your paper. And that's why this line I have kept purposefully. Ask yourself about the quality of work done and citation process.
Okay, sir.
Right? If at all you are publishing your paper in a qualitative mode, I don't think so you need a citations. The people will find you, you know, the people will search you where you are. We need your help. Yes or no? Research is a kind of things. It's a network-based activity. If at all being a fresher, you are starting your research, rather than you always try to take a help those who have known for the research, right? And from whom you can take the help of research. So always go and learn, and nothing wrong in that. Yeah, everybody has learned from others, so we have to start, and at the same one time we will also learn. Yeah,
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
right. So understand existing research, that is nothing but the gap, right? When I'm talking about understanding existing research, that is based on literature review. Can you see this? Whatever I have explained you in this graph, it is mentioned on the PPT, right? But I'm not just reading the PPT, but I'll try to make you explain. I think जिसने ये समझ लिया होगा उसका आधा काम हो गया आज का, ठीक है? बाकी सब थियरी है जो मैं बिल्कुल इंटरेस्टेड नहीं होता हूं, ठीक है? But the practicality that we have to understand is this: the crux of the understanding report writing and the citation process is this practice and this process. Clear? And at the same time, whenever you are publishing your paper in quality journals, it is very, very important that you have to mention the contribution that has been made by every authors, in this research paper. It is a need of the requirement for all the journals where you are publishing your paper, right? So very, very important that you will draft those things very carefully. So collaboration and partnership, as I told you, yes, just now I have given this. If at all you are beginner, nothing wrong to take a help and, to collaborate your efforts, right? Because to have the collaborative efforts, you will learn the exchange of ideas, sharing of knowledge, brainstorming, critical thinkings will always come out. And that is what the research is. How to improve your critical thinking. You have to come out from the, comfort zone. You have to come out from your, monotonous box. And then only you will start understanding the research, right? When you are, the knowledge capacity is going to increase in terms of sharing knowledge, definitely you will gain and you will grow. That is two things. And that is with the collaboration. Very, very important. This is collaboration. So collaboration could be anything from, you can collaborate with any faculties which you find, good in terms of research, right? So even I'm collaborating with the research, right? So whosoever is coming, I'm always guiding, right? Because whatever I have it, it's a share-based knowledge, right? Nothing I have to keep with me. Keep sharing, you will learn, right? So this is network big activity, right? So you have to grow. I always say in my classes, research is a network big activity. So we have to create our networks, right? And whenever we talks about research papers, quality research, never ever try to forget and, never ever try to ignore the utilization of the innovation and technological transfers, right? Let's say people are, usually people are making in their, lectures, don't use chat GPT, don't use AI. Why not? Why not? You have to. But you should know the ethical considerations, right? 2 days, 3 days before I was invited for panelist, with IIM and IIT professors at one of the conference. So we had a huge discussion on this part. Like, can AI replace the human efforts? No, but AI can easily ease your, the requirements, the efforts that you have to put. And this is, AI has been created by the humans. So definitely AI cannot replace humans, but AI can ease your efforts. And when ease of efforts are there, people are asking that unemployment will come. No, I can say every innovation brings the opportunity. And every new opportunity will create a new beginning, new employment for the people, right? We will have to upgrade, right? So that is where the research has to be like this, right? So if at all any new innovation technologies has been came out into your research area, You always try to utilize and make your research work to be on the bestest side, and that is the responsibility of the researcher, right? Research infrastructure, very very important. You should have the access of various journal portals, journals, and also things which is important for your research work needs to be available. And if at all is not available at your university, you must go to IIM Ahmedabad, IITs, NIT, IISc, right? All those good, institutes where the research is one of the basic fundamental aspect for their faculties. So you must adopt the access of these portals and get the good quality papers, right? So that is how one of the ways there you can pay some price, minimum price, and you will have the access for 7 days or 5 days, whatsoever it is. So that is how you can grow. Research supervision and graduate trainings, right? So you have to keep supervise your research, and you must have to produce the quality of research papers, and you also have to make a collaborative efforts with your students also, right? So students can also learn, and the moment the environment for the research has been created, the people will start adopting these practices, and that could be the day-to-day based practices. But for that, we have to keep some trainings, and we must have to supervise those efforts. Objectives should be very clear. So I think this slide I have already explained in this slide, right? Like objective should be very clear, right? When I'm saying this objective is clear, that means I'm talking about this synchronization process, right? Based on objective, you will design your hypothesis, right? And before objective, you have to design your gap, and gap should be focused on the rough title, right? So if at all at any process you are making blunders, the ultimate effect will go here. And if this is not justified, the entire research is going into dustbin, right? So it is very very important that you should follow all these parameters to be very authentic, right? And that's why I have said that's based on hypothesis questionnaire was designed. So here you can see this research question should be feasible, right? Let's say the madam is going for financial literacy now questionnaire, she must have idea. So whenever she is preparing questionnaire, it is her responsibility that she maintain the questions to be on the authentic ground in a proper manner, so that the people can get the benefit. The research should get the benefit whenever it get published, right? If at all the questions are not linked with the study, then there is no mean to deliver this research, right? So that is very very important that you have to do. Then next question she had it as, should I go for secondary and primary? So I told her that you have to go for primary because secondary data is not available. So who will decide this? The researcher needs to decide, right? And based on primary research, she must go for questionnaire, and those questionnaires should be analyzed based on quantitative parameter. I hope it is clear now. Financial literacy.
Yes, sir.
Right. So this is how you have to. And during this entire process, whenever you are publishing your research paper, need to ensure that the paper is available on online platform. See, all the ethical practices needs to be taken care. Nowhere the blunder should be happen. Nowhere the copy paste should be happen, because it is a matter of pride. It is a matter of image, and you should not portray the negative image, right? Because you feel that nobody knows, but today is an era that everybody will know within a single click and within 2 minutes, right? So you never ever try to destroy your image. It's absolutely fine if you are not publishing your paper, but it's absolutely a blunder if you are trying to publish the papers of others in a same manner, copy and paste. Try to avoid that. Clear? Okay. Data analysis tool, data collection tools, right? So I told you, based on questions, you have to design your data collection tool. So you can go for this way. Data collection, if at all, is this interview. So you can have to interview people, questionnaire. So you have to collect the data. You can go for experiments also. It is depends upon the objectives and gap that you have decided, right? So what data collection needs to be applied, right? It is based on the gap that we have decided. Clear?
Yes,
right? As she has mentioned that I want to see the financial literacy among working women. So I obviously know it. Who will provide me the authentic data for working women on what parameters? So no data is available. then I should not go for secondary data. I have to go for primary data. Now, primary data, multiple collection tools are there. Should madam will proceed with interviews or she will proceed for the questionnaire? Now, researcher needs to decide what exactly she needs to do. Right? If she feels that questionnaire is, authentic mode of collecting data, she must proceed. Right? But again, based on data collection, she must have to ensure the reliability and validity of the data. You must have heard about the pilot study, right? Let's say if I'm going to collect 500 data, right? So people are not collecting 500 data in one shot. They will collect 10% of data, and then they are checking the reliability and authenticity of the data. And by looking at the reliability and authenticity, if they feel that data is not reliable by achieving 0.7 reliability testing, then what they will do? They will remodify into questionnaire and research design, right? That means they will remodify the questions, right? The low reliability and validity, provides that people are not understanding what exactly you are trying to do. That is where you are achieving low reliability. So you have to remodify your data collections. And again, you have to collect the data. And finally, once your data has been collected appropriately, you have to apply the correct analysis, or you can say statistical tools for your research paper, right? So these are the important parameters that you have to take care, whether you are drafting your thesis or whether you are drafting your research paper. So this parameter needs to be answered and taken care very carefully. If at all you are making any blunders out of this, then it would be difficult. And there is a criteria for interpretation also. So every data analysis has their own meanings, own fundamentals, and own usage of applying. So whatsoever data analysis tool you are applying, based on that, you have to make your findings into scientific and research language. So that is what you have to take care. Structure of your research paper. So we have already discussed introduction would be the first part, right? Introduction would be the first part. Okay, so introduction is first part, literature review is second, methodology third, data analysis fourth, and finding conclusion fifth. Recommendations, societal importance, that is a different aspect. Never ever use the jargons in research. Always use clear language, because ultimately the people who is going to read your paper might be not good in terms of the technical grounds in the subject area. So always being a researcher, we must need to ensure that our research paper should be very clear, precise, and any layman person can understand what exactly we are trying to see. And that's where, if at all you are making your paper in scientific way with clear language, the target audience of readers of your paper would going to be high. And if it is going to happen, your citation is going to be very high in that case, right? And you can provide the citations in various methods like American Psychological Association, MLA, Chicago, Harvard, IEEE, Mancover, So these are the various style of citations that you always refer to it. And for research, you always have to keep updated in the area where you are working. And you should be aware about all the modification, all the changes that has been taken place into the research, right? So very, very important that you keep yourself updated so that the latest technological changes you will try to adopt and try to implement in your research work. That is very, very important. And timely, whenever you are publishing, you are submitting your first draft of your research paper, you might receive some modification based on the expert or editor's, evaluation process. So you have to be very positive in this case, and whatever possible changes that you need to incorporate, you must have to provide, and you must have to improve your publication part, right? So that is what it's called, reflect and improve, right? Then, as I told you, research is a network-based activity. So you have to engage with peers, right? So whosoever you find that is good in research, methodological part, analytical parts, you must take the help. You must ask for the advice, and for that you are attending one of the workshop today, right? So for that, finding the peers, good people, you must have to go into conference, workshop, seminars to network with other researchers, right? As I told you in the beginning, it's very important. Whosoever you find to be feasible for your research, or you are convinced with his or her knowledge, always stay connected with them for the future reference. So it will definitely help you to learn and gain the experiences. So very, very important that you should focus on peers. If at all you missed out something, but it will not missed out in your research work. when you have the engagement with the peers, right? So this is a benefit, that is what, and you can see this. And once you connect with them, you must involve them into your research work and must seek the advice, help, and you must utilize their experience into your research work, so that the basic fundamental of the today's lecture is the quality of research work can be produced. I hope it is clear. Everyone? Any doubt till now?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Right. Thank you. So why citation does matters? So, we are working at various platforms, and we are working for our own development, and we are working for our organizational development as well, right? Because our API, our performance index is always concerned with our own achievements. So if at all you are growing, ultimately your organization is also growing, right? We must need to understand this basic fundamentals, and for which the quality of research is very, very important. Research is one of the fundamental base for citations, right? So quality of research always makes a difference. So you must focus on your research work and must try to publish in quality journals, and that's where you link your performance in KPI and H index, right? University ranking in terms of various accreditation process like IQAC, NEC, so whatsoever accreditation based on your subject domain, research is going to be play a pivotal role, right? 50% of the criteria, 50% of the marks are associated with the research. So every university is focusing upon the quality research, right? So that is where it is. And for this quality research, the research also helps university to tide up their affiliation with the universities, and it makes their affiliation to be on a very strong backgrounds. So if at all university wants to go for more further associations, so it will be very easy for them to achieve, to get the permission for that. And that's where, if at all you have achieved certain quality certification through research, innovations, publications, research grants, so obviously your institute will definitely provide the person who is doing those activities to be on a great platform, so that the organization can also achieve a great milestone, because research is a pivotal factor for the organization to grow and at the same time for the individuals. And that's why the citation does matters. How to increase your citations? So the first aspect is you have to improve your discoverability, right? You have to improve your discoverability, right? If you improve your discoverability, then your citation will go increasing, right? So make sure that you are available, right? You are available at every platforms. You are available at every platforms. You must create your profiles at every platforms, right? So this is the first aspect that you have to do, right? Then research assessment, right? You have to, get the evaluation of your research. I'll just take 2 minutes, right? Just 2 minutes. One important call. I'll just take it for 2 minutes. Huh? हाँ बोल. हेलो हाँ बोल. हाँ ना रेवा दे. Okay, right. So yeah, research assessment means you have to evaluate your impact significant of research activities within academic institute, right? So what happens is, if your research is going to improve, various funding agencies, researchers will automatically find you, right? Let's say I told if at all you are going into some conference seminars, if you find some person, a resource person to be on good side, you always try to be connected with that, right? Either through social media like Facebook, LinkedIn, right? So it's a good practices that you keep update yourself by getting the information, by getting connecting to share your problems. And that's where you will find your solutions as well, right? Because ultimately the solution does matters, right? And then after a certain period of time, you would be able to decide your research in both the criterias, in qualitative and quantitative fundamentals. Right? You would be able to judge your research based on qualitative and quantitative fronts. So that is where it is going to be matters. And ultimately, as I told you, the funding projects very, very important for those who are in social science, like Madam, supply chain management and financial literacy. Right. So both can apply the fundings for ICSSR, right? Indian Institute for Social Science Research. Right. So that is where Indian Council, sorry, not Institute, Indian Council for Social Science Research. So these are the various agencies which is available for this kind of things. You always try to focus your research to published in those journals, right? That's where, if at all you are trying to publish your paper, make sure that every journals like Scopus, ABDC, Web of Science, they are always expecting that you put your citations not from the peer-reviewed journals or UGC CARE journal, but they are expecting that whatsoever citation that you are putting, that should also be from the Scopus journal or Web of Science. Yeah, any
Hello, sir.
questions? Yes,
Yeah, sir.
please.
I have one question. So how we get the citation, sir?
How we get?
The citation score.
You have to create your profiles into this journals portal. Let's say at the beginning level, you can create your profile into Google Scholar.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Right,
But sir,
I'll
I
show
have
you.
another question related to this. Like, if someone is citing, like, adding my research
Citing
paper,
is going to happen when
Huh.
somebody is taking your papers, as a reference in their papers. So, and this journal is authentic. First of all, very, very important. You will not get a citation for the printed journals, first of all. Right? Those journals who are having DOI numbers, right? You always
DOI
put
number.
your publication on these journals only. Even if it is a peer-reviewed journal, you will get a citation. But at the basic level, at a Google Scholar level. But if at all you want to grow it and, being a smart researcher, you must
So
have
let
your
me clear
ID,
my question. Wait on that.
right? You must have your
So,
ID. If you want to start your journey with Scopus, you must have your ID in Orchid ID. So I'll give you, this is the next
sir,
type.
listen, sir. Suppose I'm adding someone's paper in a references, but not adding their name in the text of the paper. So will they get the citation or not?
The journal will create a query. If this person is not at all used by you, right, then why you have put them into references?
Because we are just uh, no, we are just reading that paper or we are taking the ideas from that paper, but sometimes we do not add their name in the text or in the content we are putting in a research paper. So there is
It is a part of the last day session, references and bibliography, that I'll only take it. I'll clear it. We will have 1 hour to only understand this part. I'll come to this part. The last day you will get it from my last second day. Last second day you will get the clarity from my side only.
Okay,
Clear?
sir. Thank you.
Right. So research is a funnel process. I told you, from main idea you have to reach. Justify your paper on fundamental fronts means, as I told you, research is a synchronization process. So nowhere the process should get compromised. Right. Every parameter should be justified on the fundamental fronts, and through which you can proceed further. Right. Make sure that content should be advanced and updated. Never ever try to use the previous research, because if at all you are doing research and it is not updated, then I think it is not a research, right? If somebody has already done the research on this part and again you are making repetitive stories, then it does not make any sense. Clear? It does not make any sense for this kind of things. So it is very, very important that you should put your things into advanced and updated mode. Clear? And that's why whenever you are publishing this with this consideration, if at all you are publishing your quality research work, right? If you are publishing your quality research work, you always focus on these quality journals. And I have already shown you the quality journals like Scopus, ABDC, Web of Science, MDPI. So these are the journals which will help you to have more visibility of your research paper as and when the research scholars are finding from good platforms. Or these journals are getting good priorities to be, as a referred paper for the next scholars, next generation. And that's where if your visibility are more high, then definitely the people will first look forward to your paper. And if their purpose getting solved, they will not look for the second one. And you will get a chance to get your impact factor to improve. right? And that is called immediate indexing you will receive once the paper get published. And that's where you can easily create the difference between quality and quantity. Quality means if you have 2 Scopus paper and if you have 10 publication in peer-reviewed journals. But the person who is having 2 Scopus paper will have the more citation in comparison to the person who is having 10 publication into peer-reviewed journal. I hope I'm making sense. Right. And that is a universal acceptance. I'm not saying this. Even if you show you the recruiters, the recruiter will select this person who is having 2 Scopus paper rather than the person who is having 10 publication in peer review. So that is where the difference will come out, right? And the citation is also matters in that aspect. So yes, this is how the impact factor of journals you have to see. Like that, this is a Scopus journal where I am a reviewer of this journal, right? So this is Q1 journal, right? Highly impact factor journal, right? I think to publish this paper at this journal, it's like very tough, I can say, right? 170 H index is there for this journal. Means for this journal, every one paper published by this journal, minimum 170 paper of this journal have been cited by 170 times by the researcher across the globe. And that's why this journal is having H index to be 170. Just imagine how people are preferring this journal, how the quality of the paper has been published in this journal by the scholars, researchers. 170 paper have been cited by 170 times by the other researchers. Can you imagine? 170 H index. It's a huge, right? And this is how the quality can be identified, right? And that's why you have to see that the title and keyword should be properly guided. Whatsoever title that you have finalized, you must need to ensure that they should be reflected in the keywords, right? All journals are asking 5 to 6 major keywords as a part of the research. So you must have to take into consideration. So this is where you can create your ID. One of the platform is researcher ID. You can always create this. Academia.edu. So this is another platform. You can create your ID and you can improve your citations. You can improve your scores. So this is what since long I have taken this photo. So so that's why it is showing on very less figures. Google Scholar. So this is another platforms where you can receive your citations for all the papers you have published, right? And that's where you can improve your citations. So you can see this H index. Clear? So you can see this H index. Clear? So this is how you can improve your paper, citations. ORCID ID, very, very important. If you are planning to submit your any quality research paper in Scopus journal, Web of Science, MDPI journals, this ID needs to be there. It is like an Aadhaar card, PAN card for the research, publication into quality journal, because your paper will not get published without this ID, right? So it is very, very important that all the academicians should have this ORCID ID, right? Even I have my ID. So please note this ID for this ID 16-digit unique number. So even if you find this unique number ORCID ID platform, you will get my profile and every data, right? And this is my email ID, right? So every information you will get, based on ORCID ID, right? So every researcher has to, so if at all anybody found me suitable for the research work, and if they were planning to contact me, right, they will get all the information over here, right? So this is the email IDs, this is ORCID ID. If you scroll it down, you will get mobile numbers, every details will be available and people can connect, right? As I told you, research is a connecting process. So people can access my paper through this ORCID ID, right? And even if you find, any problems in, I'm also making my citations to be visible to the people, right? At this platform, nothing wrong in that, right? So, people are searching papers, right? So if at all I'm trying to teach you right now, and if I'm, making you convinced that you can also refer my paper, and nothing wrong in that, right? Because rather I'm making it orally or people will find it out. That makes a difference, right? So this is my ORCID ID. You can always reach out to me if at all any problems or any paper you want from my side. So I'll always share it. right? So this is my ORCID ID and email ID, right? So yeah, this is my contact number also. If at all you want to reach it out, you can always be there. So this is what its research is all about: connecting with each other, trying to understand the importance of the quality of research paper, and try to make your papers to be published at good journals, right? You can also this is contact number. This is one way of putting your profile. Email ID, you can see this ORCID ID. I always put my ORCID ID in all my communications. This is my mobile number, right? So I put all the communications to be with ORCID ID because this is a platform, right? This is a theme of today: how to improve your citation, impact factors. So people will, until and unless people don't know, how they will reach it out to me, right? So this is my ORCID ID. Even this is an InflibNet with one ID, which is government affiliated platforms to improve your citations. So this is called the Vidwan unique ID. So if at all you go to vidwan.inflibnet and if you type this 6-digit number, you will get my entire profile, right, on the Vidwan InflibNet ID, where you will also find my papers and you can refer my papers. And if you find it, I'll gain the benefit of getting the citations for my own self, right? So thank you so much for connecting, and be connected with me, right? So this is what it's all about, research paper, understanding in research fact set, and how to publish the paper onto qualitative mode. Now I'm making this platform open for the question answer round. So if at all you have any questions, please ask me. Yeah, any questions? Yes, please. Yeah, Julfira, Begum, Fazil, Painter, you can ask your queries, no issue. You can unmute yourself and you can ask the query one by one.
Yeah, hi, good evening, sir.
Yeah,
First of all,
good
thank
evening.
you so much for giving such an informative lecture. I really
Thank,
enjoyed it a lot.
thank you, thank you.
Yeah, so I want to give my introduction. Like, I am into journalism and mass communication, and I want to pursue my PhD in filmmaking.
Right.
Yeah, so on the basis of today's lecture, I want to understand how shall I write my introduction. I want to basically pursue a PhD on looking the impact of religion because of the films, like how the film is, trying to manipulate the idea of a religion.
You
So
can
this
you can
is
go for, see, manipulate. So this is what's all about, the sensitivity in emotions. So I
yeah.
cannot say any data to be on authentic side, right? So first of all, the secondary data will not help you out. So
Hmm.
you must have to go for the survey mode, for which you either go for literature review and you try to find out the gap. But what my understanding is, you must take the survey, from the filmmaking, film theater
Filmmakers,
theater employees, theater owners, you know,
owners,
and
the
sometimes you
directors.
also take, the feedback from the people, who is watching the movie. Any movie coming out like, religions and emotions. So you can take the help out immediately after the person, relieving from the theater. So that's where you will get an authentic reply, and then you can proceed for the analysis part.
Okay, so this is about the journey, but how can I
So
formulate my
how the people
introduction?
sentiments are getting changed and
Okay.
played. So that could be the variables, right? So how the sentiments are getting framed. So the type of framing the sentiments will be your variables,
Hmm.
and based on the
Okay.
variables you will frame your questions, and those questions will be collected for use for the collection of data. And once your collection of data will be done, you will make an analysis and you will find
Right.
conclude the research.
And sentiments would be precisely religious sentiments.
No issue. Even you can find it something more out of it. This is your primary understanding. What I'm saying is,
Yeah.
you go to the literature review, you will find a gap, right? Apart from sentiments, is there any other factors where people are getting, manipulated,
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
right?
Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and all the best for your research.
Thank you so much.
Yes, Zulfikra Begum, then Roshan sir can ask. Yes, Zulfikra Begum, you can ask your question.
Hello.
Yes, sir, Roshan sir, boliye. Yes, please.
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Yeah.
सर बेसिकली मैं उड़ीसा से बिलोंग करता हूँ एंड आई हैव बीन doing this research kind of work for past few months, and I eagerly want to know if I am going to research or doing my PhD further. Now currently I have master's degree only, and I got graduated from Sambalpur University in the year 2018, and currently I am teaching in a degree college. And so per the NAC peer review says, and if you at all are going to teach in any of the college or anywhere in all over India, you need to have PhD. So can you properly, sir, guide me if I may choose anything on research, which area I will go for?
First of all, your specialization.
My specialization is in English, sir, English literature, and
Yeah, so English literature. See, let's say if I'm in finance, right? I don't know much about
okay.
literature, but if
Yes,
at
sir.
all I'm in finance, so if you refer my papers majorly, then I had restrict my study in behavioral finance,
Okay.
and somehow I'm going for the econometrics analysis,
Yes, sir.
right? But now I'm at the position that I can do the research in marketing and HR also, right?
Yes, sir.
And I think if I'm not wrong, that I have almost guided 50 to 60 PhD students till today on the same queries,
Yes, sir.
right? So although this is not to be discussed at this platform, but yeah, definitely you can reach out to me personally if at all you have the problem. But yeah, what I have to say to you this, that you have to define your queries, your areas to be restricted more, right? Let's say you are
Yes,
in
sir.
literature. So literature, in which segment you want to go? Majorly literature is going with the qualitative data analysis,
Yes, sir.
right? Where you have to go for some articles, some
Yes.
some opinions are there, so on
So,
particular topic.
when I was in university, I had this opportunity to research on translation studies and for the
So
comparative
that's what I'm saying.
literature.
No, majorly you are on qualitative data analysis,
Yes, sir.
so you can go for bibliometrics, you can go for NVivo, right? So these are
Okay.
the various software where you can put your opinions, interviews of the people, the articles which has been drafted by the previous authors. This is basically review based research. That is what it's literature. Until and unless your topic is something different, to identify some perception, opinion, behavior, and sentiments. But majorly
Okay, sir.
literature is going with the secondary data of qualitative research.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Right. Yeah. Any more questions? Any other questions? You can unmute yourself and you can ask rather than I can call out the name. No issue. Anyone who would like to ask question?
So tomorrow
Fine.
session will be held by you. You will be the narrator.
Tomorrow I'm not going to come. I think you must have received the schedule in the poster.
Okay. There will be
But
another.
I have 2 more sessions. Don't worry.
Sir, I have one doubt.
Thank you so much.
Sir, I have one doubt.
Please,
Like,
please.
If I use, you told you don't have to use the chat GPT or other AI tools. So if I use some of the tools, is it an authenticated one, the research problem statement, which I get from those things? Or
Yeah, definitely. I'm not saying whatever result you are getting from ChatGPT, you just copy paste. But at least they will ease your efforts. Let's say you are drafting 10 things out of the research problem, you missed out 2 things. Can ChatGPT provide those things? And can we draft it on this platform? What people are doing it, people are just taking the results directly. I'm not saying that.
okay.
But
So is it an authenticated and is it a valid one? The result out of 10.
yeah, even ChatGPT can do entire analysis.
Okay. So I have a doubt, like most of the time I try to use the AI tools for the problem statement instead of searching for the journal papers. So this kind of things
what is the meaning
comes
of
into my
authentic
mind.
use? Even if you are taking the help of other researcher as a literature review, right? So what people consider, you are referring others. It's not authentic. I'm not saying that. But authentic means you take the help of them and you redraft according to your requirements. If ChatGPT is providing 10 things out of this, but at least 2 things you are looking for that will be provided by ChatGPT, which you are missing earlier in your drafting. So can you add those 2 things which was important for you?
Okay.
Why not? Why not to use? If things are available, why not to use?
Why not? Okay.
If others are using, why we are avoiding?
Okay.
Sir, ChatGPT's context is scanned by the plagiarism app.
I'm not saying directly use. I'm just saying you take the help of them
Yeah.
and redraft by your own language.
But it scanned by the plagiarism checker?
No. If you redraft by your own, how can plagiarism will be checked? It will not come into plagiarism.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Yeah, Deepika
Sir,
Desai.
I have one more doubt, one more additional on top of that. So, how can I directly identify based on this problem statement and this kind of work?
Nothing
this
is
paper will
directly.
be suitable.
Nothing is directly. You have to do literature review.
Yeah,
There is a process.
how can I find like this journal will be the best suitable one for my work?
You go to Schemago website if you are focusing on quality journal. You go to Schemago journal and find out all the journals from them only, rather than going into Google.
Okay.
Hello, sir. This is Deepika. I am a research scholar working under
You are from
Shivaji.
Gujarat?
No, I am from Kolhapur. I am working in Shivaji University, Kolhapur. So this is my second year in PhD. So
Okay.
my research title has been already finalized, but I have 2 basic questions. The first one is before suppose in my study I have 4 objectives. So my first question is what are the basic checklist or the basic points that we should check for before selecting a journal for publication? What is the checklist that we should look for? And my second question is if in a curriculum there is a pattern, we should have 2 conferences, 2
I'm sorry, Nikita madam, I'm taking little bit time because of the query. I hope it is okay.
No issues, sir. Please continue.
Yeah. Thank you. Yes, madam, please.
And secondly, I would like to ask, in any kind of research study, for my PhD study, if I have 4 objectives, so how many papers should be published, or how should I select the title? Each objective 1 paper, or one should break down. So what is an ethical way to decide the number of publications and titles based upon the objectives?
See, every findings will be converted into research paper, first of all, right? Second question, you can change your geographical locations. You can try some other variables. Let's say if I had gone for the exploratory factor analysis, right? What's your topic is?
Mine is real-time monitoring of under CCTV. It
Okay.
comes under.
So you must have fitted some parameters of CCTV, monitoring system. So if you want to confirm your factors, you can go for confirmatory factor analysis at the later stage of research paper. Let's say you have multiple factors to be CCTV camera, right? So if you go for any one factor, then you can check the people's opinion.
Yeah.
You can change your locations.
Okay.
Right. So this is how you can, select it out the paper. Second aspect is, right. See, we have a lot of questions, but PhD, no issue. You can reach out to me personally, but at this platform, let's not waste others' time. I'm not saying wasting, rather I can say, but yeah, this is a paper, title related query. So you can definitely reach out to me. You must have my contact number. If at all you don't have it, I'll share in the chat box. You can take it. But yeah, by looking at your query, madam, right, how to check the journals. So for journals, you must have to, see the scope of the study. Whether whatsoever paper that you are drafting, let's say CCTV monitoring, you whenever you are finding journals in Schemago, right? So previous person has asked me this query. I had asked, answer him that you have to see this quality journals through Schemago website. Right, and out of this journal, download the list of the journal, and you will see the scope of the journals, right? And that's why you will able to publish your paper into those journals. right? So this is how you can proceed further. And Shivaji University, I very much aware about it. You know, so previous session also there was one candidate who is having the same query. Right, so I'm well versed about the the pattern of Shivaji University. So yes, if at all you have any further query, you can always reach it out to me. No issue.
Okay. Thank you.
Right. Yeah. Any more questions? I think.
Sir, one more doubt, like whether
yes,
how
please.
to find whether it is a free journal or a paid journal, because my
There is a
supervisor
category.
was
There is a category of open access and APC journal.
my supervisor was asking me to publish only in a free journal.
Whenever you are journal, so you go for open access journal. Right?
Open access is a free
open access journal or not open access, but you should not go into APC journals of Scopus. Right. So these journals are taking charges. Like if at all your paper has been selected, they are taking charges of 1 lakh, 150 lakh, 1.5 lakh, something like that as a publication charges. So that's why your guide was allowing you, and it was a genuine advice that you must had heard, but
how
still,
to
if you have a
find,
budget, you can proceed.
how to find that whether it is a free
If
one?
you go to see from Schemago, you find out the journals. From Schemago, you will find the journals. You will get the website from the Schemago only. So they will directly drag you to the journal website. And on the journal website, you always go to About Us journals. So in About Us, every information has been mentioned. So you can go and refer it. So you will get an idea. If is APC, just close the journal as per your guide advice.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Clear? So I think I hope you all have enjoyed the session, and I try to meet your requirements, fulfilling your answers, in a manner which I can. But I hope I deeply, regret if something I have missed out, or I missed to take your queries. But yeah, definitely, whatever I have shared today will be helpful to you in the future for your research journey. So thank you so much for all of you, and I hope you have wonderful learning for the first day of this FTP program, and you will enjoy in the later days for the upcoming days also. Thank you so much for connecting. Thank you so much, Nikita madam, for allowing extra time for the query session. So that was a huge queries, but yeah, although it was very what I can say, very authentic and practical way, in a manner which has to be. So it's a good thing that I had deal with the knowledgeable crowd. So I had enjoyed thoroughly of this session. So, and I hope you will reach, you make your research to be on a more sharpened way and try to publish your research into quality journals. So all the best to all of you. Thanks to RFI team for inviting me, Ajay sir, Saurabh sir, and Nikita madam. Thank you so much for wonderful coordination throughout the session. Yeah. I said I should not mention the one person who is always been in contact with me, Yoga sir, who is with coordinating with me through mobile phone, right? So I also say my sincere thanks to that particular person also. Thank you so much to lovely audience for your patient listening and be interactive, more importantly. And anytime if you have any queries, always reach it out to me. No issue for that. Thank you so much for all of you. Thank you. Over
Thank
to
you
you,
so
madam.
much, sir, for this innovative and informative session on our RFI's platform. And thank you so much mainly for the thing which you have done today to solve all the queries and questions of our participants. It was really fantastic that you spend your extra more time on our platform to solve their queries. And I hope that in upcoming days also you'll having a session with all participants, and that will also will be a wonderful experience with all of them. So with this, thank you once again, sir, and thanks to all dear participants for being very cooperative and patient during the session. Hope to see you all in the next sessions.